Okay, this video is about camping near the Grand Canyon in Arizona. One of the 7 natural wonders in the world is considered the Grand Canyon. And I'm going to go into how you can camp for free in the Kaibab National Forest, which allows 2 weeks of dispersed camping for free. There are campgrounds here. You're going to be looking at $50 to $60 a day if you want to spend that kind of money. Otherwise, and you're going to be crammed in like a sardine in a sardine can in those trailer courts, RV parks, whatever you want to call them. Or you can opt out of all that and be out here in the Kaibab National Forest like I am camping. My nearest camper is 2 miles away, so that's my campsite. Nobody 15 feet on either side of me, and I don't have to pay $400 a week for that, for that type of camping. Want to do true camping, boondock camping as they call it, this is what I would recommend, the Kaibab. Now that borders the Grand Canyon National Park. Okay, there's differences, between a national park and a national forest. I've gone into that in some of my previous videos. So anyway, very cool place. I'm only 4 miles from the Grand Canyon National Park, and they do charge $35 to get into the Grand Canyon National Park. That's a 7-day pass. But I'm going to show you a way to get into the park also for free. So not only will you be saving $400 a week if you come out here, you're going to save that $35 a week entry fee. And it's totally legal. It's there's an entrance, a Forest Service road. I'm going to show you a map how you can get in. Now, it's a 15-mile drive down a couple of dirt roads to get in the back door, so to speak, to the Grand Canyon National Park. But it's totally legal. There's no gates or anything separating the two parks, the Grand Canyon National Park and the Kaibab National Forest. So totally legal. Let me just show you. Now, we're only, about an hour and a half drive from Williams, Arizona, and Flagstaff. Williams, you're going to take, that's right on the interstate, both of those cities. And Williams, you're going to be coming up Route 64. And if you're down Flagstaff, you're going to come up 180. Beautiful drive. And then get on 64 to get to the Grand Canyon National Park. And like I say, this is a pretty cool campsite. Even have Black Angus cows that have come by almost every day grazing out in the fields out back here. And I've seen some huge elk, big racks on them, within 100 feet or so. They typically aren't going to come in too much closer than that. But let me show you the map. Show you a back door into the Grand Canyon National Park. You want to get, because you're going to be camping out in the Kaibab, you want to get the road use map for the Kaibab National Forest. Okay, unfortunately, we're in the shade here. But, okay, you have the town of Tucson. And that's just before the entrance to go into the Grand Canyon National Park. And that town, there's almost nothing there. It's all touristy. It's motels, $200 a day, that kind of thing. And the general store, wanted $16 for a tiny little steak. It was a real rip-off town. I wouldn't just stock up on everything. Your water, propane, your food, everything. Stock up before you come up here. Uh, and this whole gray area on the map is the Kaibab National Forest, and as soon as you see the white area, you're in the national park itself. There is a campground in there. You know, obviously it's going to cost you money, and they're not cheap up here. The one campground I went to, they wanted between $50 to $60 a day. The one that's in Tucson. And they also hit me up. I had to get propane, and they hit me up for the highest prices I've ever paid going across the country from Pennsylvania on this camping trip. $4.85 a gallon for propane. I was just paying under $3 a gallon down in Flagstaff. I mean, so everything's a rip-off in that town. And it's a ghost town because of the COVID and everything. But anyway, okay, here's Route 64, and I'm hoping you can see this, which comes up from Williams. Route 64 is your main highway, 65 miles an hour to get to the Grand Canyon up here. And here's the town of Tucson right there. Now, just before you get to the town, this is all Forest Service, National Forest, where you can disperse camp. So off of 64, all of these different roads, 305, 347, 308, 688. Across the street you have 306. You can pull in your camper, or if you're tent camping or whatever, and just camp for free. And that's only like 2 or 3 miles from the town of Tucson. And then you go another mile or so, and you enter the park, like I say, for $35 fee. But you want to get one of these road use maps from the Forest Service, and they're better than if you download the Kaibab National Forest map from Avenza Maps. That's a good, you know, it's a good app for your phone. But dispersed camping, you have to get these road use maps, the physical maps, because you can only camp where you see dotted lines along the road on each side. So here's 688 coming through, and there's dotted lines on both sides. That means you can disperse camp for free on either side. Then there's sections where there's no dots on either side of the road. You can't disperse camp in there. If you do, ranger, I talked to one ranger, he said it's $275 fine. Now, he might not hit you for the fine if you're nice to him and just tell him, you know, you don't have one of these maps or something, but you want to make sure you see dotted lines. I'm going to see if I can get in real close. Yeah, unfortunately, this is a smartphone and it's very stupid. It doesn't really see the little dots on each side of this. Here's 302 coming through here. That's a Forest Service road. That whole area you can, and then all of a sudden you can again, and then it keeps going up. Now here's the back door I wanted to show you, and I only have 5 minutes left here, so let me see if I can do this. Okay, 64 comes up and into the park, National Park, Grand Canyon National Park, and this is all the Grand Canyon up in here. Beautiful views, great place to visit. But back down here, you can get to this point. This is Forest Service Road 310, and on my GPS and my Jeep it said Grandview Road. You come in about a mile, and then it turns into Kaibab National Forest, which allows dispersed camping. And like I say, you can enter into the park there legally and save yourself $35. But it was a it was a 15-mile drive from Route 64, coming back these dirt roads all the way back over to here. It's about a 15-mile drive. So if you want to save yourself $35, and if you're camping, you could be a mile from the park here. If you wanted to just off of 310. Yes, any of this is going to come out. 310. You go back in a mile and all of a sudden it's free dispersed camping. Right back in here. I'm deeper into the woods. I'm 4 miles from there, but just because there's most of your campers are going to be right near the entrance here, between the Grand Canyon National Park and the Kaibab National Forest. They tend to get really close in, so I decided just to take some of these dirt roads out and everything else. And then I got like 3 minutes left here. This is a pull-out map. Again, showing the town of Tucson. And then you go just up to here, and that's where you're going to go into the Grand Canyon National Park. And you have to pay the $35 fee. That's $64. And it comes up. And like now I got bees buzzing me. But anyway, there's a lot of cool lookout points. Great photography, hiking trails that'll actually go down to the Colorado River. But if they take, it's like at least a 2 to 3 day hiking trip to get down into the canyon, because the canyon drops 6,000 feet. It's unbelievable. And people get nauseous. They get actually sick to their stomach when they're standing next to the canyon wall and looking straight down a mile or better. And anyway, if you're coming in here, way down here, I put it in, here's your Route 310, or Grandview Road, and then the entrance into the Kaibab National Forest. Keep getting buzzed by bees. And this is all part of the park, and it goes all the way out to the east entrance, which is closed because of COVID. Which is terrible, which is really bad, because Desert View, this whole area had a store, had a gas station, a lot of supplies you could get, ATM, and that's all closed now. So there's not that many people out here. It's August, and the park is very few people in there. Anyway, that's my episode. I'm gonna do 2 parts. This will be part 2. I'm going to do a part 1 on the Grand Canyon itself, and it'll be just video of some of the canyon itself. So this one was more about information. The part 1, it will show you some of the spectacular views. It's just phenomenal. I actually get a little dizzy just looking straight down a mile. So anyway, I hope you found this episode useful as far as free dispersed camping right at a very famous national wonder, or I should say world natural wonder. And this is Eagle Eric signing off.